I would like to mourn the death of an app. Again.
Is that the death march?
Wait, hold on.
Sorry.
It's death. Yeah, it's death.
I meant to do the
funeral march.
I already lost Dark Sky. This was so painful. But Dark Sky, we had this 6-month ramp where it was like, Apple looked us in the eye and they were like, we're going to murder your favorite weather app at the end of the year. So get ready.
Yeah.
And for 5 3/4 months, I continued using Dark Sky like nothing was going to change. And then on December 31st, I had an existential crisis and I was like, oh my God, Dark Sky is going to die. What do I do? And so I did eventually find a one that we can talk about, which is pretty solid. But now I have to mourn the death of another favorite app, and that is Flamingo for Twitter. And all the rest of the Twitter apps I used over the years, Phoenix and Tweetbot, and shout out to the others, because Twitter just nuked all third-party Twitter clients.
Yeah.
Which on one hand, yeah, of course they did. It makes perfect sense. If you ran a website and some people just made an alternative client that's just serving the same version of your website minus all the ads that make you money, obviously you would kill it, right? Yeah. But I've been using them for so long that I didn't realize how bad the stock Twitter app actually is.
Yeah.
Which is, it's bad. It's just bad. It's a bad app. So now Twitter is worse for me. I respond to tweets less because my mentions are just broken sometimes and I just don't see like hours in a row of mentions.
Yeah.
That sucks. So yes, RIP all of the best Twitter apps that we've used over the past years.
I feel like there was like 5 different ways to cut into that. Yeah. Sorry. I think the first thing is like, didn't Twitter use some third-party app like features and then bring them into Twitter? Like, hasn't that been a thing? I was reading something about how like it's a little different how third-party apps have worked with Twitter because they've really like helped in the growth of Twitter as a whole.
I'd be curious.
Am I mistaken somewhere? I would like to see that if anyone knows.
That's true for Android ROMs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Android would always eventually just add like features that ROMs had.
There are a lot of companies that wind up doing that. I mean, even if you're going to gaming, like Minecraft used third-party things. I guess at that point it wasn't necessarily taking away ad revenue from it, which I think is a little weird because there's also things like YouTube Vanced, which is like taking away ads and taking away or like giving you extra features. Yeah. I hate Vanced because I think it's taking away from the creators. Like you're also directly interfering with that. Twitter, but yeah, I think I'm pretty sure Elon found out third-party apps took away ads and was like, nope, later.
Yeah.
Well, they also have their first interest payment coming up at the end of the month. Yeah, the end of the month, I think they owe $1 billion.
It's like $1 billion every time.
Yeah.
Do you think they could have kept the apps with just like a rule set in there of you need to allow ads?
I think
like
you
need to allow
easier.
our ads.
I think there are so few people work for Twitter now that it was just easier to just pull all the keys.
My other assumption is like, did the API team that was like updating for these Twitter apps just get nuked? And then when like an update came around, it was time to like, there was something they needed to do with the API. And then just all of a sudden they're like, oh, we need to do this like blah, blah, blah thing for the API for all the third parties. And they're like, they're gone. So
yeah.
I think it was like just a back end thing because stuff's just stopped working for a week, and then they eventually updated. They updated the terms of service like a week later, which is really ridiculous, but exactly what I would expect.
Yep. That's classic Twitter. What are the rules? I don't know.
We're just gonna
and
change
we can't
them.
find out because they're fired.
Yeah,
we're just gonna change them and communicate them a week later. Yeah. I will say, like, it sucks for all the developers that have just been spending like over 10 years developing these apps, and then you just wake up one day and you're just like, everything you've worked on for the last decade is just doesn't work anymore. Like, that's insane. Like, I didn't think about that much until the other day, and I was like, all of those people, and it's their entire livelihood is just like screwed.
That's like if YouTube just decided to stop allowing people to upload videos.
Yeah.
Or stop like paying ad revenue on anything.
Yeah.
Like, oh. Or even if, I mean, there's a ton of examples of crazy stuff. I just like, it was... Yeah, the Twitter experience for me is just like, oh, I follow people, and then when I open the app, I just get a list of the things that are posted by the people that I follow. Super simple. Chronologically, great. And then you go to the Twitter app, and there's like a For You page, and there's immediately an ad at the top, and then there's a tweet from someone you don't follow, and then there's a tweet that's liked by someone you follow, but I didn't sign up to see that.
Yeah.
And there's just this whole mix of things, and it's like, I vastly preferred the Twitter experience. in the third-party apps.
Wait, what were you using before this happened?
I was just using the Twitter app.
So was I. And like
I hate
this,
I can't believe
I
this.
was a Twitter.
Well, it used to not be as bad.
I believe that.
It wasn't as bad.
It used to be pretty decent.
Yeah, that's a true thing I keep hearing, which is on my timeline, people would always be saying, "Is Twitter getting worse?" And I'd be like, "Nope, it's fine. Everything's fine. My app is working perfectly." But meanwhile, the stock Twitter app that everyone's using has been getting worse. And so now that I just jumped over to it, I just jumped into like a flaming room.
Yeah.
We eased into the pain.
Yeah.
Marquez got booted out the door, the elevator with no floor at the outside.
When the API keys got dropped, I just got kicked out of the nice quiet room into like the screaming, everything's on fire room.
Yeah. It was crazy how quick one of the app developers that made a super popular third-party Twitter app, like the next day after he got booted off, he released a Mastodon app.
I think a few are.
No, it's not. I don't.
Tapbots.
It's the
I think it's
Tweetbots.
Yeah, it's Tweetbot.
Tapbots did that as well.
Yeah, okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
But I think that this kind of signals back to like an earlier time of the internet when like Reddit, for example, also has a bazillion third-party apps, right?
true.
And I think that websites early on didn't really expect for the app ecosystem to get so insane. It took Reddit a very long time to make an official app. They on iOS, there was the only popular Reddit app was called Alien Blue, and they just bought Alien Blue and turned it into the official Reddit app.
And the Android one was, Reddit is fun, which I still use today, which I feel like feels weird that I'm not just using Reddit, but I've been using it for so on
A long time ago, I used Bacon Reader, which felt like an RSS
I was just going to say
Bacon
that.
Reader,
Shout out Bacon Reader.
And then I used on iOS right now, I use Apollo. Or is it Apollo? Yeah.
I think it's Apollo.
And then on Android, the Relay for Reddit is like the best one.
the one that I use,
But I think that, in the early internet, like when all of these Web 2.0 websites like weren't thinking about, we need to make an app first experience, it made sense for them to allow third parties to make apps because it was just free work for them. Like it was allowing other people to drive them traffic. And they didn't really care. It's like, other people are signing up for our service, using our service, being on our service.
I think that's the key is you need to, through that third-party app, allow people to interface with all the best parts, especially the parts that make you money. So like people need to be able to sign up through it. People need to be able to, if there's a subscription, they need to be able to do that. If there's Reddit Gold, they should be able to buy it in the third-party app and Reddit gets all the money.
They don't allow, I don't think.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But that's I think why in those early days when the only real goals were like more traffic, where it's like, this is kind of a green light because it's benefiting our one goal, so we'll allow it. And now that they have more goals, it's a little more complicated.
Yeah.
So Twitter has a very clear goal right now, which is cut costs and make more money.
Yeah.
And now that that's happening with ads, and there's an active third-party ecosystem that does not help with that, bring them all over here. So now we're all over on the stock Twitter app.
I mean, I think even if you want to go back a step to you were saying how like you don't really read your mentions anymore. Do you think part of that is because now people can pay to be verified and now your verified tab is like...
No, I go through every single mention in order from everyone. So when we post a new video and I tweet the new video, literally like for the next hour, I read every single reply on Twitter from anyone, verified or not. Now, if I want to go to the mentions tab, sometimes it's just broken and doesn't show anything newer than 6 hours ago. So I just can't do that activity anymore. Maybe if I look at activity under the tweet, but some people will tweet about the video and tag me and that won't show up there. I won't see it. So there's just like, it's just a worse experience for me, someone who used a lot of Twitter, just in chronological order scrolling.
Yeah, so. I think the verified stuff is, I still hate it. There's points where it felt like we're communicating with the other friends we have in like this tech YouTube space. And like, not to say if I'm going to just reply to something that I tweeted, I'll just look in that tweet. If I'm trying to see if like other people in our space are tweeting about things like with me, I can't see it anymore because I have dozens and dozens of tweets from like verified people that I'm like, did I meet them somewhere? Like, it's like, no, account. It's just someone random. It's not, I don't know. It's still a weird situation at that point. I think Twitter overall has definitely gotten worse. I don't know if anyone can believe differently. I'd be very surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe here's a positive note for this whole story. I did find a weather app.
Oh, okay, cool.
And that is, this is huge. It's huge for me. I mean, dark sky was my whole life. I was a weather committee on our Frisbee team. So Carrot weather app. It basically, and they tweeted at me a bunch of times after I was like mourning the loss of dark sky. They have a dark sky lookalike layout that's like hidden in the settings, and you can like enable it, and it looks basically just like dark sky. And so that to me was close enough. Like it's not exactly the same. Radar features aren't exactly the same, but it was close enough. And then it has a bunch of other cool features. It's got a bit of a personality. I open it up and I don't have my phone on. But it just reads the weather in a snarky way. It's cool.
I think it's funny. I don't even use it, and I follow Carrot and the creator on Twitter because I just think they're funny.
Yeah, they're funny. Yeah, it's good. So, if you were looking for that replacement, I think this is it. Like the stock weather app on the iPhone theoretically uses a lot of the same data and features. I think it uses dark sky data. But it's not the same layout. It's not the same set of features in the same way. Dark Sky was such a well laid out app to me. So if you want to check out Carrot, it's got this like timeline view, I think is what it's called.
And only iOS right now has the newest update that has that. Apparently the Android update is in the works, but I don't think we're seeing that till end of this year. So
I'm using weather on iPhone, I guess.
Yeah. I'm also realizing how different you and I are in a lot of ways.
Okay.
So like, do you know how you use a million different like tracking apps for like to-do list?
And I tell me you use your alarm clock for
not for weather
app.
But do you want to know how I check the weather?
You look outside.
What do you do? You definitely don't do that.
No,
nobody does that.
I type in the like Google Now bar on the bottom. I just type like weather Carney. And then just like the top, Google search has a top thing where you can still slide a slider and see stuff. That's what I just use for weather.
That's mostly fine. It's temperature, it's cloudy or not, it's rainy or not. Like that's the basic info. But when I'm trying to figure out like
humidity,
what time is it going to start raining?
I have a HomePod for that now.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, debatable because it's inside. But
You're
like, what
smoking hot, Andrew?
what time? How much snow are we going to get? I know it's going to start snowing, but how much snow are we going to get? Right? Or I can see the storm on the radar, and I can see, oh, it's actually currently raining where my sister is, and that exact piece of rain is going to come up to where I am, like that sort of stuff. Which maybe I'm just a weather nerd and I care, but like, I don't know.
You do follow a weather YouTuber, so.
Dude, Ryan Hall, I know his channel just blew up with a lot of the crazy weather we've been getting, but I don't watch weather on TV anymore. I watch Ryan Hall's videos, and he's a great weatherman. He's a meteorologist on YouTube. It's great.
Wow.
Shout out to Ryan Hall. Link down below.
What weather app do you use?
I do the same as you. I will say
this table is dividing very hard recently. This is chaos.
Psychos.
I do sometimes look at the default weather app. I will say I had a really weird experience yesterday. Please laugh at me. So I have some normie friends, okay? Mm-hmm. I have some normie friends. This is new for me.
The worst.
I made a bunch of normie friends in the last year. Some of them like to look at their horoscope.
Oh.
They understand that it is stupid. Mm-hmm. And that it's, random.
We stand zodiac signs here.
We?
I don't want to get ripped apart on this.
They made me download this app called, what is it called? It's a
zodiac sign.
It's a horoscope app. It's really popular. CoStar, I think it's called.
Downloaded that too.
Hey.
I believe they're extremely popular.
Yeah, it's just fun. Yeah. Like it's dumb and fun, and it's sort of like a social media app because it'll show you like what you're aligned on with other people on what day, and it's super dumb. But yesterday morning, I woke up and it looked like I assumed it was gonna be cloudy outside and just rainy and cold because my apartment doesn't get very much light. I opened up this like Zodiac app, and it says at the top, it is going to be sunny in your area today. And I was like, what? And so then I opened the weather app and it was like mostly sunny. And I was like, oh, wow.
My horoscope is accurate. I knew it.
I'm telling you, I got my weather through
so you use your horoscope app.
Oh my God.
My Google weather looks pretty good now, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Oh it's
on
like the really tier list of weather apps is like
horoscope
Carrot, Overdrop, stock weather app, Googling the weather,
CoStar,
horoscope app.
No, looking outside and then horoscope app.
And then CoStar.
I don't think we've ever needed an ad break.
Oh man,
more than this time.
Look,
right
if
now.
you ever want to know the exact rate of precipitation, I got you. Okay. I got you.
It's just like fun sometimes,
Yeah.
Trivia
time.
It's always the transition. People are like, I'm not into it. It's just fun. And then later they're like, oh, this is so mean.
I am a Sagittarius.
That is such a Pisces thing to do.
Oh god, that's so Scorpio.
Sorry,
Yeah, direct the hate comments at these two.
I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't be
me.
so controversial.
Hannah
right now.
Worms, in honor of the muted microphones, we'll do a muted outro. That's the outro.